This is neither a mole nor a rat, but a naked mole rat. Yup, the weird thing starts from the name. From the outside, these shovel-toothed guys look like a combination of nuclear disaster and failed evolution. But from the inside, well, they are more than that. Despite being mouse-sized, these guys live for around 30 years. Why, you may ask? Because they don't feel pain, and basically, don't get cancer. They are so weird that I can't fit their facts in this episode, so we will talk about that in the Weird Facts series. For now, let's talk about their weird mating. Naked mole rats live in a colony, and the head of the colony is a female, just like a meerkat. If you remember meerkat's alpha female, Lady Mole Rat is kinda like her, but on steroids. The queen is the only female allowed to mate and reproduce inside the colony. She chooses around 3 males for the job. Except these 4, almost all of the other members of the colony are siblings. The mom is ruthless and clings to the throne, so she threatens every non-breeders in the colony. The burrow can be a mile long and she constantly monitors the area. If anyone is in the way, she casually shoves and throws them away. She sometimes bites and scares them. She even walks on top of them to show the dominance. This creates a terror zone, and the hormone level of non-breeders always stays low. It's a fail-safe way to monopolize the mating rights. When in heat, she goes to one of the alpha males and stays in position. The male understands the signal and mounts her. The process may last for a minute. She will repeat the process several times with other alpha males as well, and gives birth to over 10 pups after around 70 days. Then she goes into heat again. After the kids are born, she cares for them for a few weeks and gives them to the colony. After that, the siblings will take care of them. By take care of them, I mean put them in a care chamber and feed them their poop. Scientists say it's for the kids' benefit, but maybe it's revenge for that. Who knows? If the queen dies, the active females fight with each other for the throne. Sometimes, the fight can be fatal. Well, it's the Game of Thrones. A few deaths is not a big deal here. A new queen will either choose new alpha males for her, or will continue to mate with her father. Yup, it's a twisted family, and inbreeding is not much of a problem here. Also, if the colony is too big, it may split into 2, and the new colony needs a queen. Well, you can guess what happens next. And the cycle continues. You all know this guy, the most beloved animal on the planet. Dogs are very intelligent animals, and they are highly social. They have a very strong sense of smell. Dogs can smell your fear, smell virus, smell cancer, and even smell the time. Yup, but don't overthink about smelling time. We'll talk about that in the fact video. For now, let's talk about their mating. There are around 400 breeds of dogs, and all of them are the same, at least genetically. That means a Chihuahua can breed and have pups with Great Dane, provided he has a ladder to reach the mountain cave. But let's slide the mountain climbing and talk about normal-size mating for now. When we hear about dogs mating, these 2 images come to the mind, but the mating process is far more weird than you think. When dogs reach 6 months of age, they become mature. After that, females start getting in the heat every 6 months or so. But males are like humans. They are ready any time they get the chance. When in heat, the female becomes restless and shows a lot of affection, just like cats. The genital gets swollen and releases bloodish fluid too. The males can sniff that pheromones from a mile away and start following the scent. They track her and surround her, but the female won't let anyone touch her. She's just advertising her maturity and gathering the followers, kinda like some TikTokers. The males follow her everywhere for around a week. When the female is ready, she gives them the signal, and now it's a royal rumble. The males fight, bite, and viciously attack each other for the right to mate. After the fight is over, the strongest winner guy climbs over and mounts her. The mating lasts for just around 3 minutes. When the seed is released, the genital of female contracts, and the base of male genital swells. It forms a locked situation called a breeding tie. The couple stays like that for around half an hour, or unless some humans or other male dogs separate them. Once they separate, she moves away and the remaining males follow her. The same program will run again for a few more episodes. So the female mates with a lot of males within a few days. And around 2 months later, this is the result. If you remember superfecundation, it's a normal thing in dogs too. And after these pups are over 6 months old, the cycle continues. This guy is a water strider, and they walk on water. The word itself means something that walks on water. They can carry 15 times their weight and still walk on water. They eat small insects like mosquitoes, mosquito larvae, flies, or spiders that fall on water. They pierce the body and suck the juice out of them. If the food is scarce, they will eat other water striders too. They sometimes jump vertically upwards for no reason at all. Maybe the water acts as trampoline, I don't know. But the weirdest part is their mating. When the weather is warm, the males get in the mood. They look for any female around and grab them instantly. They don't even care if it's a male or a female. If they see a back, it's a piggyback ride. This is the reason why females don't like males and try to stay away from them. In addition to that, females have developed a shield-like blockage to cover their genitalia, so male won't be able to dock his anchor unless the female wants it. So he taps on the female's back to open the shield. He may wait a few hours for her cooperation, but if the female doesn't open her shield, he threatens her by vibrating the water. The fish in water will be alert because of that vibration. If the female is still persistent, he keeps shaking the water until the fish arrives. He jumps away just before the fish grabs the female and finds another female to ride on. So most of the females open the shield to avoid being a fish food. After the shield is open, he inserts a dagus and releases the seed. Then he stays like that for a few hours to avoid her from mating with others. Then he leaves in search of another female. The female can store sperm from many males and can choose which sperm to flush away and which to use for fertilization. She lays eggs within a few days, and nymphs hatch within 2 weeks. After a few molts, a wingless adult strider is formed. But if the water source is about to dry up, or if there's too much crowd, the nymph will start developing wings during the molts, and the adult will have full-fledged wings to fly away in search of a new place. And the cycle continues. This is a bobbit worm, and most of you may have never heard of it before. They usually live around 40 meters deep in the ocean hole. These diglet-type creatures live in their holes their whole life. The only difference is, Diglet is cute baldy, whereas this guy is insanely scary. If you have watched movies like Tremors or Dunes, those creatures were inspired from these worms. If any animal passes over them, they grab it in a flash and drag it into their den. They are omnivores and eat from ocean plants to small fish. They even eat octopus sometimes. Bobbit worms have super regeneration, meaning if you cut a 10 feet long bobbit worm from half, there will be 2 worms of 5 feet length. The headless part will generate a new head, and the tailless part will generate a new tail. It may take some time for regeneration though. If you cut them again, there will be 4 worms of 2.5 feet length. I don't know how far that can be done though. Now let's talk about their mating. The mating in bobbit worms is really weird. In fact, the males may never see females in their lifetime. Yup, these worms are practically blind. Then again, what's the use of eyes if you can't see your partner, I guess? They live almost all of their entire lives inside the hole. So, they don't have time for romance. When it's mating time, the female gets into the mood. And what does she do? Well, she crawls out half of her body out of that cave, and then releases the eggs from her skin. The eggs just float around here and there. When the male sniffs it, he does the same pose, and releases his sperm like this. Then they pray for their union, I suppose. After the eggs meet the sperm, they fertilize and drift far, far away from their homeland. It may take a few months for them to hatch, and after they hatch, they dig a hole and start their life there. As for how long they live, scientists say they live for 3 to 5 years. But they also say a 4-foot bobbit worm was found hiding in an aquarium for 10 years. 4 feet is just a young one, as they can grow up to 10 feet. So I don't know what formula they use to calculate the age though. Well, they represent science, and it may be some dwarf species. So, no comments here. And as always, I love you guys.